So GoPro has interchangeable lenses. Did you know that? Well, today I wanted to highlight 5 different lenses that you can get right now on Amazon to make your Hero 9, 10, 11, and let's say 12 more fun. By the way, welcome to the channel. My name's Danny Black. I love to share with you cool gear that comes my way. If you're new here, don't be a stranger. And I'll put links to everything you can find super easy down in the description, plus a surprise link. All right, so let's get right to it. 5 different lenses in no particular order. And by the way, these are all the lenses I could find. I wish that there were more options. I mean, telephoto lens, 16mm f1.4. Is that even possible? I don't know. But for now, this is all we got. First one I want to share with you is the Skyrate Anamorphic lens. And this thing is actually really awesome. It is built with quality. It's got really nice glass. And so what it actually does is it gets a wider field of view without making it look fisheye or warped. Now you will have to actually edit this footage, de-squeeze this on your timeline. And when you do, the footage looks so good. And this is where some of you might say, well, can I just get a super wide angle and then crop it in at the top and crop it in at the bottom to make it look like this? No, it actually does not look the same. Because when you get that super wide angle, you also get a little bit of that warp on the side, and that's not what this thing does. So it's very cinematic, and you pair that with a gimbal and you use it at night, tweak some of the settings on your GoPro, and you can get some really beautiful footage. Plus, because it's an anamorphic lens, you also get some of those light streaks. It's a great way to get more cinematic footage with your GoPro, and I highly recommend it. And it also comes in under $70 US on Amazon right now. All right, cool. So the next one on this list is this little macro lens here. And this thing's awesome. You just pop it on your GoPro just like that. Because one of the things that your GoPro is not gonna be good at is getting really up close and clear footage. And this will help with that. First thing you'll notice when you put this thing on is all your footage is gonna be like a little bit blurry. It's almost like when you put on glasses that aren't your prescription. But as soon as you get this thing up close to a product, it looks perfectly in focus. It looks really good. Without that lens, it looks like that, not in focus at all. So if you wanna get some really up close shots to different products or little miniatures or something that you're doing, this is the one to get. So I highly recommend it, and it also comes in under $40 US on Amazon right now. And speaking of software that works with the lens, we have the GoPro Max Lens. And when you enable the Max Lens mode on here, it's like magic. Now, one thing that I don't necessarily like about this is that you have to shoot it in 2.7K. But for most people that are watching content on their phone, you won't even notice a difference. And what it actually does is it acts as like a super fisheye lens. But when you enable that Max Lens mode, you don't see any of that distortion. It just looks really quality, but kind of wide. And it also keeps everything leveled no matter how you spin it. But the main thing it does is it keeps your footage even more stable no matter how much you shake it. So if you're like on a motorcycle that vibrates a lot, you're gonna want something like this. I mean, it keeps it stable. It's magic. And this lens always reminds me of my YouTube e-skate friend, Scott Davies. When he's on his board, he uses the Max Lens mod, and his shots are always so mesmerizing. And only the Max Lens can do that. Now, I will say with the Hero 11, you could also put it on like 4K and linear plus lock. So you can actually still get that horizon leveling, and you can also put hyper smooth on boost so it's extra stable. And that does look great. I mean, it doesn't have the magic that the Max Lens has, but it also can be an alternative. But the Max Lens you can get on Amazon right now for under $85 US. Now, if you still want a Max Lens, but you can't afford $85, you can check out the Telesin one. This one comes in under $62, but I will say it's not as good as the GoPro Max Lens mod. It's close enough to save, $25, but I would still go for the GoPro one if you can afford it. All right, number 4 on this list, it's actually a little bit silly, but I thought I'd include it on here, is they actually have a fisheye lens. Why the heck would you want a fisheye lens? And I mean, to be honest, that is a bit weird. It looks, fisheye-y. Fisheye-y? But there's some people out there that love that fisheye effect. Maybe they're skateboarders. They want to just get that cool looking fisheye where it's basically taking in everything almost like the Max Lens, but still keeps that fisheye look. Now, the funny part about this lens is you can actually still enable the Max Lens mod mode. It actually does a really good job. It looks really good. It looks great. Now, this fisheye filter is a little bit tricky to find on Amazon, and I did find it for under $30 US. But if you're interested in this, do check the link down in the description because I might have a different spot for it. And last but not least, we're gonna be talking about the Freewell ND filters. Now there's other options out there that have like a pop-on filter, and those are pretty cool. I mean, because it's really easy and convenient. They just pop on top of your normal lens. But the problem with that is sometimes you'll actually see some of the edging of it and you get a little bit more vignetting versus these filters, which are just directly on your GoPro. And the funny thing about these filters from Freewell, these are like one of the first products any company has ever sent me on this channel. And that was like 2 years ago. And these filters are still great. And maybe you're like, ND filters, like what do they even do? Why would I want that on my GoPro? And that's a great question because a lot of people don't really understand what ND filters do. Now, if you're doing any videos where it involves like motion, like maybe you're filming cars or skiing or something like that, it's really bright outside, these filters will actually lower the shutter speed and it will show more of that motion blur. And Freewell has filters all the way up to ND 1000s, which is especially cool because you could use something like this, put it on night lapse mode in the middle of the day, and you can get footage that looks like that. So it's just another creative way to get more out of your GoPro video footage. And you can pick up this pack of filters from Freewell on Amazon right now under $70 US. So there you go, 5 different lens types for the GoPro. I wish there were more. But other than that, thanks so much for watching and stay tuned to the channel for a lot more GoPro content, and I'll see you next time. Bye.